G'day, welcome to the video. My name is Chris Jack. I'm the founder of WorkZerk onboarding that works, and today I'm just going to be going over how to add contacts and onboardees into WorkZerk. Now, the way WorkZerk is set up, everything is kind of derived from a contact. Okay, so before you add someone to be onboarded, in other words, an onboardee, it must be set up already as a contact. Now that may sound cumbersome, but it's not at all, because today I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in one kind of foul swoop to make it very easy. So within WorkZerk, there are actually different ways to add contacts. So there's all sorts of different ways to get the data in to make it nice and easy and quick to get started. So let's go over the first. I just want to mention you've got here onboardees. It's obviously a generic term for the people you're onboarding within this portal, but in most cases, what you would do is you would go into space settings and you'd actually change that. So you'd go contractor, contractors, and then the system's going to show contractors, which is obviously who you're onboarding. In your situation, of course, it might be students, patients, volunteers, staff, employees, whatever you call them. You can change the vernacular within WorkZerk, which is a great little feature. So let's go back just in here and let's just go back to that. So what it was before, onboardees, close that. Let's go into contacts. So in terms of the order in which you would do something, if you're setting up WorkZerk, you wouldn't actually set up contacts and onboardees first. The first thing you would set up would be, well, the space, which is set up for you, and then you have a default portal, and then first thing you'd actually do is you'd set up your onboarding workflow, but I've already done that. So this assumes that you've already set up your onboarding workflow. So let's go into contacts. I'll just show you the most obvious way, which is add save here under contacts. And we're going to go in here and go, okay, let's go Mike Jeffries. Let's give Mike an email address that already exists in the system, just to show you how that works. And we're going to add Mike as an onboardee, right? It says here, add as an onboardee is checked. So that's going to actually, so we're in contacts, right? So if we go add save now, it's going to add Mike as a contact, but it's also going to add him as an onboardee automatically. So that's what I was mentioning before about how easy it is to add someone as a contact and an onboardee at the same time. But I want to demonstrate another way to add it. So I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to go save. So Mike is added. Let's go into onboardees now. Let's show you the other way. So if you click on add, first I'll just show these filters because they're pretty cool. If we go add now, you'll see that Mike is showing up there. So this is actually a table which is showing you the contacts which are not onboardees. So these are people from the central contact database, which is shared throughout the space and can be used in multiple portals, who are not onboardees yet in this portal. So once we add Mike as an onboardee into this portal, he will disappear from this list because obviously he's already added. So let's just do that way. You can go down here. Now you've got two options here. You can just add Mike and not invite him, or you can add Mike and invite him at the same time, which is pretty powerful. So let's just do that. And bear in mind, this could be, multiple onboardees. Let's go add an invite. And in the background, scroll down here while it does its thing. And you'll see that those donut charts changed as the number of people or number of queued items increased. Actually, it was invite sent increased. So obviously sent it pretty quickly. And yeah, that's now been sent. So Mike has now received his invitation to onboard, and it was all done with a few clicks. Now, let's have a look at just another way as well. You can add onboardees in. You can just do this. It's called kind of like natural language. So just go Kerry Summers. Let's do the same email address. I just want to show you what happens here. So the format for this is you just type in their first name, their surname, and their email address. And you can paste in stuff here. So this is like a mini kind of import or basic kind of import of onboardees. So it's very, very cool. So if you could actually do an export like a CSV from Xero or CRM or something, and just include those 3 fields, being first name, surname, email, and you could just copy and paste it into here. But I'm going to show you at the end how to do the CSV import as well. So because you're typing in stuff here, you have to validate it. It's just going to check everything. It's going to make sure all the fields are correct. So this is like, it's like a very basic kind of import, the enter option. And we've got first name, surname, that's correct. Now what it's done is actually matching. So it's looking at the contacts and going, does this email address exist? And then it's going, you know what? I reckon we've got a contact here called Mike Jeffries, and he's got the same email address. So I'm pretty sure that it's, the same person. But in this case, we want to demonstrate adding it separately. So I'm going to go add new. I'm going to override what the system's saying. I'm going to go add one member, right? I'm going to add in there. And that's how we've just quickly added in someone as an onboardee by typing. So finally there, let's go into contacts. I want to show you the import feature. Contacts, import. And you've got this kind of scary screen here with all this technical detail, but you don't really need to even read all that. You can just download the template. And the simplest one is the simplest one is actually the Excel template, because it's got notes in the column headers. So if you move your mouse over the columns, it'll give you some tips and stuff. So yeah, that's probably the easiest one to get started with. And within that Excel template, you've got all the fields and columns that you need all set up already. So in that case, you could just type stuff into there, but it's really designed for you to just show you exactly what fields you can use when you're importing a CSV. But really, the ultra easiest way to do it is simply go into Xero or your CRM, or it might be a contacts database from your phone, or anywhere really. All products out there, all other apps and platforms of all types, pretty much all support. Google supports it, Apple supports it, Facebook supports it. All platforms will have a CSV export, right? It's kind of like the standard way to export data. And the great thing about WorkZerk is we've made it super easy for you. So once you've exported the data from whichever platform you're using, when you import it, it's going to do a field mapping. So it's going to say, well, surname is actually last name. And it's actually going to guess the mappings of a lot of those fields for you. So you don't even need to do a lot of those fields. You'll probably find that it just imports immediately by its auto mapping. So it's a pretty slick way to import data into WorkZerk, and that's with the CSV import. So if you're importing any more than probably 15 or 20 records, then you probably want to use the CSV import feature, because it's just going to make it much quicker and easier. So yeah, that's oh, by the way, if you make a mistake with the CSV import, you can just delete the past imports, but be careful of this, because this will delete the data. So yeah, those are the 4 ways you can get contacts and onboardees into WorkZerk, depending on where your data is and what you require. So that's the end of the demo. Thanks for watching. Check us out at workzerk.com.au. Cheers.